Welcome to the movies!
This is a great movie. You're not going to regret it.
We're here in Victorville, California, future movie capital of the world.
In the centerfold with Adrian foiling his attempted assassination. And with the film, Snyder tried emulating that control through his use of slow motion. Girls and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and to a degree, the characters in Watchmen are loose adaptations of the classic Charlton characters. Rorschach, Night Owl, Dr. Manhattan, comprised of those pre-existing characters, but Moore didn't want to be encumbered by continuity and all the baggage that comes with writing in an established universe. He wanted his characters to be damaged and degenerate, a complete 180 subversion of the known superhero mold. And these days, everything's a grim reimagining or a gritty deconstruction, and made it actually real. Not just money troubles or alcoholism. Watchmen dealt with paranoia, insanity, rape, war, nuclear holocaust. Victims explodes into a bloody pulp. So a single panel like this in the comic escalates to this. Yet the destruction of New York is completely bloodless, seemingly inconsequential, which is the exact opposite approach of the comic. There's no real graphic violence. You've almost become desensitized to the violence, and there isn't really much to see other than a flash of light. It doesn't elicit the same emotional reaction as those brutally, but it does remove a potential portion of an audience that could have been introduced to it through its original form. Although you could say there's another portion of an audience that would have been adapted. Good or bad, faithful or not, an adaptation should only be seen as supplementary material, never a substitute for the original. Because I've read those 5 pages, I've had that experience with the book, and it's been visually enhanced through the film. But ultimately, they work together to shape a more vivid image of the overall story.
Oh my God!
This is a rush.
I want to get electrocuted.
There's jelly in this one.
Inspired by a 20-year-old porn star, he's incredibly virile, he's able to sire a child almost immediately. I mean, how is that for revisionism? It's the greatest POW experience of Candace Wang. Now, some would say this revisionism is a symptom of madness, but I would argue that it could also be seen as a necessary step in the journey toward recovery. And then there are the deeper, more philosophical aspects. What does it mean for a novel to be against war? Are novels in the business of passing judgment? Can they actually change the actual world? Well, that's some of what we're going to talk about today. So all bullies will act viciously as long as we think we can get away with it. Before he's killed, Piggy, the fat, asthmatic intellectual, asks, what?
Hey mate, just wanted to check in, see how Saturday's coming along. They haven't replied to me in a while. Also, here's a really cute picture of me and my... Listen, you little shit! Corey, if you jump out that window, you can forget about getting those...
Citizens of this city are now hackable. Our ghosts vulnerable to terrorist factions.
Never!
Asthmatic intellectual asks, what are we, humans, or animals, or savages? And Golding's answer is D, all of the above. In Golding's worldview, the authority...
Really good. Okay, that's it. We got the first one all wrapped up.
Forgot you wanted to go to Columbia. Me from the present regrets to inform you that you do not get in. But since you live in the past, you have no way of knowing who I'm talking about, and it occurs to me that this video may be...
Music, there are other bits of auditory information that shape your day. An ambulance passing by, a baby crying in the next room, and of course, can communicate over long distances when we can't even hear them doing it. It all comes down to the fact that sound is a wave which travels through a medium like air or water, and knowing that sound is a
worry
about all of these puzzles because none of these things we say about God is more than an approximation, a little analog that our tiny little minds can come up with so that we can talk.
Hey, how much for this inside?